Hey guys, welcome back again. It's Dotoran. Well, we are back to doing the videos again, and as you saw in my last video, this is the Welcome Back series. I've been gone a while, and I want to hop back into the videos. And at the start of this video, we're actually over in Dotoran's World 3, which is our newest server. It's a community server for people at my school. And it has the next thing that I would like to show you guys. Right now, I'm actually standing in the center of town. This is Spawn. Actually, if I get my bearings here, Spawn is, actually let's bring up F2. If you look at my crosshair, Spawn is this hill right here. What I try to do is, I love to play in survival, and when I'm playing for myself, everything's done in survival. However, as the only op on the server, when I'm trying to do things for the community, I will go into creative and do some creative builds for the community. So for instance, the structure I'm standing on now is an observation tower, and it was actually built by one of my users, Hilderich. And if I come down a level, you'll see this lower platform is actually his original tower. It was this high, and you can see you got some great views of the stuff around. I ended up having to move this a little bit because I was adding in a railway, and this tower actually sat like right there. So I actually moved it over, built it. I literally built a second one right next door to his first one before I tore the first one down. And again, his was here. And then I just added an extra guy up here just because it was, gave you a little more area to look around. So you can see I've got a lot of stuff around here. I don't want to spend too much time here. But again, a lot of the stuff you see around here, I had done in creative. This is actually a carrot farm. So it looks like a carrot growing out of the ground. That's kind of what I was shooting for. This over here is supposed to be a curly fry, French fry. It's actually potatoes that are in a curly. And I've got some dispensers up here with water buckets. And down on the bottom, there's a button that will launch the water. And the water just cascades all the way down and pushes all the potatoes right into a little ditch that's got hoppers in it and collects like a gazillion potatoes. So that was kind of fun too. Over here is this little sea area. Is an idea that I took from I forgot who it was. Corrales, I think his name is. He's one of the hermits on Hermitcraft. It's actually a sheep farm. So each of these little structures holds 2 different colors of sheep. And then over here is, I believe, a Tango Tech structure of a cow farm. So you've got sheep and you've got meat. This is the original tower that we created. One of my users, Summer 4 Owl, created the original tower, and then I had come up with an idea for how can we leave Spawn, because now the users are moving out to kind of create their own bases away from Spawn. So I came up with the idea that why don't we have a railway that runs out in all 4 of the major cardinal directions by, I believe it's 2,000 blocks in each direction. So again, I used creative mode to create these railways. The actual system, I believe, is one of my own design for getting on and getting off. You'll see that when we head down. But I am in creative, so I'm just going to hop down here to kind of take care of things as well. Okay, we're actually going to take the orange railway. And if I actually, you can kind of come up here and see this is the red railway. You got the purple, the orange, and I believe it's blue over there in the corner. But if you look at the top of this tower, I've even got the same colored glass to kind of help you out here. So again, if we zoom back down to the bottom, we're actually going to take the railway because the nether, which I put another entrance right here, I don't know, for some reason there's a bug in these versions of Minecraft where if you hit a pigman, he'll turn violent or hostile, but then it seems like every other spawned pigman or newly spawned pigman continues to be violent. So actually going in there is not real fun. And it also turns out that if he's hostile towards you, he isn't hostile towards other players. So when you come into this tower, if you come all the way to the top floor, you come to the rail hub. And again, there are 4 little areas where they can hop into a rail. And again, this is the east line. And if I kind of hop up here and I creep, you'll see that it doesn't go anywhere. Well, it's an interesting mechanic. It actually causes you to fall straight down here, and you'll hit this section of power track and then zip along your way. We actually want to go to Station C. And each of these stations is 250 blocks distance. So the first station A is 250 blocks away from that tower. In between each station is a U-turn point. And here's what I decided to do. If you see that chest? The chest, it's a double chest, which is real easy to point at and right-click to click. And I'm using that as the switch to switch the track over. So if I wanted to get off at this station A, I would right-click that chest and it would divert to that station. See how that works? It's all pretty easy. So I'm just going to skedaddle down here. And I know this might be loud, so I'll increase my voice a little bit. And again, all this I did for the community, for everybody that's on the server. And I did it entirely in creative. However, as we're heading to the base that I created here, that was totally on my own, totally in survival. And actually, as we head to it, we're actually going to pass the entrance on this railway. We're going to actually have to walk backwards to get to it. And you can see it right over here on the left. That's the top portion of the base. And we're going to get to Station C, which is right there. And we're going to have to walk back to get to this structure. So this structure, everything you'll see past it, I created over a series of months. Usually nothing but survival. So I'll open that trunk, see that? That diverted us into this little station. I hop out, I push this button, it sends it down, hits the cactus, falls into this track. Under this track is a hopper that sends it to this hopper that sends it into this dispenser. And if I need to hop backwards, I can hit one of these 2 buttons if I want to go farther out or if I want to head in towards town. It'll shoot out a cart, get ready for me. I hit this button, scoots me out. I'm going to take this drop down into this little hallway, which will take us down to ground level, which is right underneath the tracks. And I made the tracks tall enough and wide enough so that people on horseback can make it through here. So this is all the redstoning that's going on to make the different things work. So here's that chest. And the trick is the fact that it's a trapped chest. And you can kind of see, so you open a trapped chest and it activates redstone. So on this half slab, there's a piece of redstone. But I need to then take that redstone and increase its strength. So this is a repeater right here. And then that just takes it down to just a standard redstone run into this block, which has a redstone torch. So when this block gets activated, this redstone torch turns off, which will turn this piece of redstone off, this block off, and the little over here, this torch will turn on, and right on top of this one is the curve that takes you into the station. See how that works? That's kind of cool. I also have, like I said, for a quicker way, we also have nether portals at all of the stations. But again, presently, until they fix that bug, for me at least, the Nether is not a very happy place. So I don't go there unless I absolutely have to. But you can see here, and actually if I come over here a ways, you can actually see that what this is dropping us down into a tunnel that is leading out that way. And you'll see why. This world was created or this area was created for Minecraft 1.8. And you'll actually see it says, entrance to my guardian base. So I decided it was time to do something with these bases, these guardian temples that are underwater. It was actually the third time I had done a temple. The first time I did the temple, I didn't do it creative, but did it in peaceful mode, survival, just so that I could kind of figure out what was going on. This one was built in hard survival. This tunnel is very long. As I was digging it out, a ton of these new stone varieties. So when it came time to decorate this thing, I decided to polish up this stone and use it to decorate this tunnel. So it's got an interesting pattern. And when you see the base, you'll see that it's got a lot of the greens that go on with the prismarines that those underwater temples are made out of. And that's on top. But then as you come down below, you start to get into this thing. And I tried to give access to all the different little caves and stuff that I found. And this was the newest little thing, this little green guy that gets out. That goes to a little fishing spot that I use for fishing. So yeah, this is the main entrance to the base. And so now you can see the introduction of the green as we actually come up into the base. And I don't want to spend too much time here, but you'll see some of the ideas that, who knows, we might come up with similar ideas. So if we kind of start out here, this is the Guardian Temple. And actually, I don't think I have an easy way to get in here. You can actually see a guardian right there. And so let's come on in. This is the actual inside of a guardian temple. And this is the funniest thing. I had decided I wanted to have a named guardian in here. And in a similar tank over here. And it was funny, I had got tracks ready to get from my farm over there to come out here, come around here, come up and deposit them in here. Well, it turns out that totally on their own, they spawned in. It's like, look, there's 3, 4 of them, 5 of them, and this guy alone. They will despawn over time. I need to find some name tags so that I can name these guys so they will stick around. Those will be the ones that actually stay alive, because I think they look cool. But yeah, this is the inside. So if we come over here, there you can actually see how huge this is. After I tamed it, I took out all the walls, all the floors. This is the actual bottom of the temple. Then I believe there was a floor here. Floor up here by these lights that are still kind of hovering up there. There was not a hole, but there's a piece on top of this in a minute. And what I decided to do was to take 2 areas over here and build spawning chambers for the guardians. And if I come over here, you'll see that just like I've seen other people do it, like XB Crafted, I put an entire square wall of glass around this temple, drained all the water out of this temple, and then turned it into my base. This wall is, again, just like that huge dome you saw in that other server, follows the contours of the floor out there. So you can see over here, there's the floor is pretty deep, right? Over here, it shallows out, okay? So what I was trying to do is, again, because this is below level, this is the floor. This is the floor of the temple. Up there, right now I'll actually come over. I just added some staircases over here. This space isn't totally done. This is just the one that I'm playing with on my own. You can come up here. I've got these tall trees up here, but up here at the very top is this area that I'm sure you've seen in temples before. So this is the very top of the temple. And, the top of that wall is water level. And in this particular temple, the water was only 2 blocks higher than this. So it was pretty close to the surface. I found a bunch of temples in the different worlds. One was, oh man, I would say 30 blocks below water level. And then I did find one where I know this level was above water, and then I'm trying to remember if this level was above water. So it was kind of a shallow. So I thought that was weird that you could actually see some of the temple that way. But I, for the most part, have attempted to try to make the temple, or keep the temple looking the way it did originally. But I did make some modifications to kind of tweak, the way my idea for the temple would be. So, for instance, these arches are original. I modified the main wall going inside to also look like the arch. I forgot what I did over here, but I think there was a wall here, or especially out here. There was an angled wall that came down, and I wanted to be able to almost see like all the way through. So I didn't, I didn't want to be inside making it look like I was inside. I wanted to be able to see the glass again for these spawning chambers and things like that. I'm purposely not going to show you any of this stuff on camera because we're going to have to do this in my new project, hint, hint. But this isn't the entire base. Actually, these are the pillars that support the Guardian Temple. So if I just come down here, and we'll see more of this because I love these things. I'm going to use it in the next one. This is the underside of the temple. And really the only thing that was down here were the start of these pillars. And there were tons and tons of pillars. I think the wiki said there's 23 pillars that support one of these things. So from this flat surface here, the only thing that existed down here were the pillars, the sea floor covered with a ton of gravel. So all this down here was added by me. So I started up there with the spawning chambers, but they weren't big enough. So I brought the spawning chambers down. You can see there's the Guardian. And he will eventually make his way here. There he is. And you might have saw it when we were coming in the tunnel. He falls down here into the lava. If you stick around, you'll see that all of his goodies will start to come up here and get automatically put away. And again, all this was created in survival. And then these were just this you may have seen other people use these. These are slime block launchers. Underneath this slime block, there's a piston. And I did it a little differently. The ones I've seen other people use, they have a ring around this ring that has pressure plates on it. And then the redstone underneath has a delay to it so that it gives you enough time to walk up and get this pressure plate, walk across this furnace, get onto the slime block and then launch it. Mine works a little differently. It's a direct connect to the piston that's under here. So this block, this block, this block, and this block are all furnaces, which slime blocks won't affect. under this furnace and this furnace, there's redstone. And right next to that redstone is the piston. So really, if you come in on an angle, so that half of you is on one of these pressure plates and half of you is on the slime bucket, it launches you up. And if you notice, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks it'll throw you. Actually 6 blocks, because what will happen is it'll throw you high enough to catch one of these vines. And then I'm using string right here, you can see it right here, to keep the vines from falling down. There's vines all the way around, so it's really cool. You just walk in on an angle, it launches you, you just push up to climb the vines, and you're up top. This is the exact center of the temple, straight up. Oh, actually, oh, maybe it's not the exact center of the temple. No, I think it is the exact, whoa! This is the exact center of the temple. It's just that the temple goes farther out this way, but as far as the floor is concerned, this was the center. And I've got one here, one over there, one over there, one over here, one over here. So I can be working anywhere in the base, very quickly have access to hop up to the main level. And again, I'm trying to figure out where to put stuff. I'm still toying around with if I want another floor up here. My one possible idea is, did you notice I had the big trees growing up there? Maybe knocking a hole in here and letting it come out to, you see this main prismarine here, just filling this in all the way around. I'm not loving the fact that it would interfere with this, so I'm not exactly sure. Who knows? I like how those light stones, these new light lamps are, and just put some in along here too, and then call it good. I love the grandiose feel of the inside of this one. I decided to drop them down a little bit. I actually have a little chandelier-looking thing over here that I was just playing around with, the kind of centerpiece of my enchantment area. But we'll see what's going on. And you might have noticed I had chickens and cows in the back here. Again, this is one of those drops. This is where we came up with the train. But I got chickens over here, and I've got cows over here. And you need a lot of that to create the books and stuff. So yeah, this is what this is. So this was a Guardian Temple 1.8 structure, underground, tamed, in survival, for us. Okay? The one thing I wanted to show you, well, maybe I can do it. Let me go up top. This world has a feature turned on to make it easier for the players, and I want to see if I can get somewhere that actually could do some harm, almost like killing me harm. Oh man, I don't think this is high enough. No, this is not going to be high enough. Yeah, this is not going to be high enough. Hey, well, all right, I'll just explain it. If I die, I keep everything I was holding. Okay, I think it's called Keep Inventory On. This world and the next world we're about to visit have that turned on. I think in the other world, though, I'm actually going to turn it off. So when we do the next temple, the one I want to do on camera, it will be in hard survival without any specialties turned on. This is an area that I'm just adding now that I'm going to have watermelons, a pumpkin growing. I don't need watermelons. I got tons and tons of fish from those guardians. So it's just a little offshoot that I added, and it actually follows the contours of this little pathway here, and it goes all the way over there, so I could actually knock a hole in that wall. And you can see from the decorative wall that there's a massive hill here, so whereas here it was low and I could see the water. If I decide to do something over there, it'll be like a cave. So I don't know what's going to happen over there. So yeah, so this is it. This little line here, and I'll just finish the episode here, is, or finish this part of the episode. I have to be standing behind this line for them to spawn in the spawning chambers. I believe the number is 29 blocks away from the closest piece of water they could spawn in. So see, they're spawning like crazy now. They spawn in any chunk of open water that is directly in or around the center of the temple. So when I said that drop hole over there was the center, so 29 blocks out from the center is where they can spawn. That's why out here I've got this little section of grass. So right here, this block right here is 29 blocks from the center of the mine. So I had to make sure that when I got rid of the water, I got all the water all the way out here taken away. That way, the water I put in would be the only water they could spawn in. So like I said, up top in there, those two little chambers I created, there's enough water for them to spawn in, so they're starting to spawn in there too. But as you can see, it definitely isn't affecting the spawn rates. So that's awesome. Okay, so we've only got about 5 or 6 minutes left in this episode. So what I want to do now is cut to one of my other servers to show you what's actually going to happen. All right, so give me a second. All right, guys, welcome back. So yeah, this is my Dark Times, or the New Age server, the one that was a custom-made server that had all the interesting mobs. I even spawned ender dragons in the overworld. 20 of them spread out over a 5,000 by 5,000 square area. They were all named, so they didn't despawn, and it gave them an extra challenge for trying to destroy them. But I'm going to finish the episode by showing you a base of mine here that was also a water base. So if I scroll over here, that light you see over there is exposed lava. It was a little lava lake. And if I keep going, you'll see that structure right there. And that was the above ground entrance to this structure. Another dome. This is a perfect dome, a smaller dome that completely fits under the water. I actually have a strip of glass right here with a beacon. This strip of glass right here funnels down into a little village that is populated with villagers. And in order for villagers to breed, they need to have light access to the sky. So they couldn't be underwater. So this is actually a glass wall that goes all the way down to the surface of the floor of the ocean, and then continues down through a trench to give the light to what these guys have. So this was this is very close to that 5,000 block boundary that I was talking about with the dragons earlier. The actual spawn area is like, I'm sorry, I misquoted myself. Spawn is 5,000 blocks that way. So really the square is 10,000 blocks. So from spawn out to every edge of this square was 5,000 blocks. And in amongst those 5,000 blocks were all sorts of weird things that I created for the kids to have to deal with, among other things, those dragons. So I made it. I knew where the stuff was. I didn't think it would be very fair for me to do this. They wanted the challenge. So I decided while they were doing their challenge, I would do my challenge. And again, just like is being shown here, totally empty-handed, I left spawn and walked until I found this area. And I created this entirely in hard survival just to see what would happen. Now, I do want to show you that if I grab something, I'm going to die. Let's see. Where will I go if I die? I think I'm going to go in here. I'm going to switch over to game mode 1. Not 1. 0. And I will jump off over here, which should kill me. But you'll notice I'm going to keep that block. Did you see that? All right, and I think when I hit respawn, okay, it took me to the wrong place. Okay, well, we're at 30 minutes right now. I don't want you to see anything more than what I've got right up in the sky. When we come back in our next episode, I'll show you a little bit around that other underground or underwater area, which also is pretty vast. And then I will come to where I'm standing right now to show you what the plans are for us in the next series of videos. All right? So until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.